Without a doubt, you're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio. Woofcast number 495 for Monday, December 23rd, 2013. Without a doubt, tonight we're brought to you by cravenspeed.com, motoringbadges.com, the new Mini, and without a doubt, outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. That's outmotoring.com. One, two, three, and good evening, everybody. This is DB in Arizona, bringing you a brand new episode of the world-famous White Roof Radio. Joined this evening by my good friend Todd Pearson from Kansas City. And do you know, Todd? I was looking on the internet today, and there's somebody put up a map of all the places where it's legal to drink in public, and Kansas City's in that list.
It is?
Yes.
Because
it must be maybe
in my city specifically, in Lenexa, which I guess you'd probably call it the Bible Belt. It's illegal to sit on your front porch and have a drink.
Oh, maybe it's in the other Kansas City, not your Kansas City, but the other Kansas City.
It's in the city. It's probably Kansas City, Missouri, and that's because there's a lot of outdoor restaurants.
It should be illegal anywhere to sit on your porch and watch traffic go by and have a drink.
That's what I'm saying. And that, of course, our friend, our chief mechanic, Chad Miller from Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com. What? Todd's off like about it. You're like a half second behind. It's really funny.
So see, it is not just me. It is everybody. We're taxing the internet here.
Yes. Hey,
right?
Look, Nick's gonna watch. That's correct. Anyway, we're not here talking about how fast the internet is on a Monday night, or the weather, or Oreos. Did you guys see the cool Oreo thing that Larry Simpson shared with us on Facebook?
Yes, I love that. The little, it's a French press or milk frother or something like that.
It's like French press, and you use it to dunk Oreos. I got to show you guys this. This is classically awesome. Let me pull up my screen share.
Yes, it's very cool.
You guys have to see this. Because somehow we have become synonymous with Oreos. I'm not really sure how that happened, but it did.
There could be worse things.
Yeah,
really.
There could be.
I'm saying.
So here's the little gizmo here. So somebody grabbed the little baby Oreos and then put them in a French press and then filled it full of milk, and then you press it down. And voila, Oreos pre-dunked.
Doesn't do it for me because I don't dunk my Oreos, man.
I don't either.
I just eat them straight.
If there are chunks in my milk, I'm pouring it out.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so we're not going to really talk much about Oreos
cool,
tonight. It was very cool. We thank Larry for sharing that, of course. Oh, that was awesome. How did we get everybody getting us on the Oreo thing? How did that happen? Oh, because we were talking about Oreo stuffing in the spray can.
Well, we started the story because that week the news of the week was Oreo double stuff is not really double the stuff.
That's right.
And that we just started down a trail of Oreo goodness.
Yes, that's right.
And it became part of the White Roof lexicon.
Yeah. And that reminds me, this week too was that new Apple commercial. I'm sure you guys all saw a little kid, taking the video, made everybody cry, blah blah blah, right? Don't listen to the nerds talk about the Apple commercial. Just don't, because they ruin it for everybody.
I haven't listened to any nerds talk about it. I thought it was well done, and I watched it, and it was very nice. And that was
I thought it was very nice, and the nerds.
I don't care what
don't listen to the nerds because they will totally ruin it for you. DB's looks the best, actually, Nick, because I have the newest camera, I believe, and for Christmas I'm hoping to send everybody one of these out to improve everybody else's look as well. It's a very nice camera. It's a Logitech, the C920, I think it is. So it's super nice.
Mine's just my laptop.
The iMac built.
Yeah, the iMac built-in and Chad's laptop they're both really nice, but we'll upgrade you guys, make them nice. It'll be cool. I think Chad needs some HD. I really do.
Right?
Yeah, be nice.
In this year, instead of the Porsche, we have a Mini.
Oh.
Everybody.
A white.
That one's got a CVT, right?
It's got a red spare tire, and it's up on jack stands in the showroom.
Nice. In the showroom.
Yeah.
It's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be here there a little while. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing with it yet. We're gonna make that decision by January 2nd.
All right, you still have a couple
I
weeks.
say a mini in its natural habitat on jack stands.
It runs great. It just doesn't go forward.
It just doesn't drive. You just can't put it into drive. Hey, speaking of, Chad, I'll ask you this question since I'm speaking of transmissions here. Is I got a little nervous today because I was driving around and downshifting to a stoplight, going from third to second. Slow down a little bit.
Right.
And it might have just been me, but I could not get the car to go into gear. I was like, what is going on here? And then I slammed it all the way over and felt like, okay, I can get over to push it up to reverse, but I'm moving forward. I don't want to do that. I couldn't get it to pull, and then finally, I got it up into first, and I'm like, well, that's weird. And so, I got to the dealer, did my stuff there, got back in the car, started driving down the street, and it felt a little clunky shifting, not terrible, and it's not cold today. It was like 60 degrees.
Right.
And everything felt fine. The clutch felt fine, because I've had a slave cylinder go out before, and that's what happens is your clutch is in, and you can't shift it into gear because the clutch isn't engaging. Yeah. So I was kind of worried that I had a slave cylinder going bad again.
Trying if the clutch is in and the clutch is feeling normal to you, and you're having an issue with getting it into gear, I would say more of shifter cables or temperature or something like that. But obviously you said it was 60. So
60 today.
I've had customers it's really hard to get into gear when it's really, really cold out. Well, all that grease that's in the actual shifter cable is clamping down on the cable, and it's making it harder to shift.
I can see that.
So I started thinking as you were talking about this is okay, did you run over some ice? Is there something stuck up under the car? Occasionally, the gears just bind because you're shifting too fast or something didn't quite. Sometimes you just have to put the shifter in the neutral and just kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit to kind of free everything up, and then try to put it into gear.
And that's kind of what I did. Is I set. Yeah, I went through and I
might also help that too.
Yeah, I rode through the gears a couple of times, and it felt okay coming home, and then the car sat for maybe an hour and a half. I got in it again, and then everything felt perfect.
Yeah.
Shifted really smoothly, like butter, like it normally does, and it was like,
something
that's starting to worry
or,
me. It's like,
I can't say that it's one thing or another, but my just gut feeling that I'm going to grab out of the air is going to be maybe your LSD's going on your trans. The mini LSDs were LSDs, but they weren't the best LSDs in the world. They're kind of okay.
I don't want to pay to have that bad boy rip.
Yeah, I've also had another customer who had a bad LSD in their GP. A lot more miles than you and a lot more abuse per se. But
I just turned 60.
Yeah, this car has 85 or something, but the first guy that had it just 2 accidents, just tons of miles, just beat the car to hell. So it was just a car.
It was weird
to him.
Is there a way if I had been looking before when the slave cylinder went bad, they checked it out and they said it had been leaking and you could tell. Before it went bad. Would you be able to see something like that if it were happening again from losing, fluid and pressure?
Yeah, you might more or less. The little accordion sleeve over the thing would actually feel like it has pressure if you're actually under the car. And while it's in place, you can actually pull it. If you get fluid out, then you could see. My experience is, a slave cylinder can fail, but normally the slave cylinder has to come off for it to fail versus it just failing on its own. Normally you have to somehow hit it or do something to cause it to fail. Just the normal operation, for the most part, is not going to make it fail. We see them fail here at the shop because we've taken it off, we're doing a clutch, we go to put it back on, there's fluid. Just by moving it just that little bit, just by taking it off and on, causes it to fail. But you're just driving the car every day.
Interesting.
It shouldn't just fail.
I was going to say, and it failed about a year and a half ago, and they replaced it. It was under warranty at the time, but it was one of those instances where, and I was in the parking lot, and the clutch went to the floor, and it wouldn't come. I was just like, it was stuck on the floor.
Yeah, and that's
I let the car sit long enough, and it built up enough pressure where I could get home.
Right.
But that was it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a little bit different situation than what you're talking about now. I think that this was more of something in the transmission bound up that maybe something didn't quite get shifted fast enough from what you were trying to do, and it just kind of was binding up some.
Very
interesting. Cool. Well, I'll keep an eye on it. If anybody else is having those issues, write in to Ask Chad at whiteroofradio.com.
@whiteroofradio.com, exactly.
Yeah, this week, Ask Chad at whiteroofradio.com was bombarded by share videos.
Yes, it was. I saw that. I'm going to show those later. Thanks.
And
thanks again. Thanks again to our friend Zeke. Of course, it was Zeke. He sent in share videos for us. Which, we've got a lot of.
And it wasn't just that. It was the correction of we had it wrong when we said the the share song on the ship was. We said it was. What did we say it was? And it was wrong. It was Turn Back Time.
No, it was the other Believe in Love or Believe in Life After Love or whichever.
Yeah, that's
something
Believe.
Like that, yeah.
We thought it was Believe, and it turned out it was Turn Back Time. And I'm like, well, that just shows how not gay we are. So,
wow, thanks, dude. All right, before we get any further deeper into this show, I want to do a couple of spots. I want to pay some bills. I want to tell you guys about something very cool. I was talking to our friend Kellen this week. I want to tell you guys about this because it is rad, and you guys are going to dig it. And we have a special offer just for White Roof Radio listeners. But before, no, you guys need to check out the N Gauge. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. I want you guys to click over to whiteroofradio.com. I want you to click on the final test drive banner at the top of the page and go check out all the submissions. Voting starts shortly after the first of the year for the winner, and we get to help pick one of 10 people that get to pre-test drive the F-56. Fantastic opportunity. Get to drive it for anybody else in a special fancy way that you choose, and then possibly having the chance at winning the opportunity to build a custom Mini after your name or whatever you want to call it, your name, your dog Spot or whatever. Very cool stuff. Click over whiteroofradio.com. Click on the final test drive banner for us, if you'd be so kind. Then I want you to go over to Craven Speed. I'm going to show you guys this. For those of you who are watching live watching live tonight, I'm going to share this with you guys. This is rad. Check it out. Okay, so this is brand new. This is called the N Gauge. It's from Craven. It's a brand new gauge system. There's a video over there. I'm going to link it up in the show notes. All right. New font face, bezel, needle. Everything, right? Looks really badass. I think it does. It looks super cool. And Kellen was super excited about this. He was so excited, he actually emailed me before the show, and he said, hey, this thing's really cool. We think you guys would like it. And I checked it out, and I go, oh, dude, that's really rad. And he says, no R50 support, so it won't work on my car, but it works with all the second-gen cars. So you Clubman owners, Countryman, Paceman, and Hardtops R56 cars, it'll work perfectly. Now, if you guys really like it a lot, and I think you will, here's what you're going to do. Is if you click over to cravenspeed.com, and if you go to buy one, if you use the coupon code for this item until the end of the year of WRRNGAUGE, GAUGE, Kellen's going to knock $100 off the price. Not just 5% on this one, gang. $100. So it's a $600 kit. Spendy to be sure, but I mean, it's going to be top-notch and great stuff because it's from Craven. We're saving you $100. You can get this for $499 if you use the coupon code of WRRNGAUGE over at Craven Speed. You should go check this out, and if you think it's something you like, buy it and use that code. And if you forget the code, message me however you choose to message me, and I will send it to you, and I'm also going to include it in the show notes. But yeah, that's a really cool opportunity to get something really bitchin' from Craven Speed and save a lot of money doing it. Cravenspeed.com. And it's actually cravenspeed.com/Ngauge, Ngauge. Put one in your cart. Use the coupon code of WRRNGAUGE. Save $100. Sweet. If you buy anything else from them, and if you use coupon code of SHARE for the rest of December, save 5%. Still a pretty good deal. Don't try to double up on the coupon dose because you can't. It doesn't work that way. You get $100 or you get 5%. You pick. That's courtesy our friends over, our bestest friends in the whole wide world, planet, and everywhere else. Over at Craven Speed, cravenspeed.com, home of the electric Mini. Go check them out, please. It's a rad deal. It's like a really sharp gauge kit too. I think it does. Am I by myself again?
I think it's very cool.
It's great.
No, I just muted myself.
Okay, cool. Well, now I guess would be a really good time. It's just something we still need to figure out how to do is how to turn on news music. We can't do that. No.
I just wasn't prepared for it though.
No.
Play it through some computer speakers.
No. Or Gabe's music, maybe.
Yeah, and
Or share.
Hey, the big news is well, I won't say the big news. Just starting news is we go back to something that dropped. We're recording the show on Thursday. Yesterday and today, if you signed up for the mini gift swap, the big Mini USA gift swap. This was fun. Yesterday, they sent out the name of your giftee individual.
Yes.
And then I don't know, a couple hours later, got another one, different name. So after
that happened
many
to me as
people
well.
had already,
And some people I heard actually didn't get their giftee.
Until today, and then they showed up at 5 o'clock today. So it took a couple of days, and then a lot of people who were like, I didn't get one, and they're like, okay, we're working on it. And then today, so I think by now, well, of course it's, by the time you're hearing this show on the following Monday before Christmas, hopefully everybody's got their gift person names out, and they're giving you till, they would say, get it out before the end of the year, so you got another week and a half, almost 2 weeks to send a gift, around $10, and share the mini love.
There you go.
Cool. That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. I think it was a pretty cool idea, and if there were some glitches, and I think some people will have sent out 2 gifts, unbeknownst to them. So hey, some people are probably going to get more than 1 gift. That's the cool part. Maybe you'll be one of the lucky people who is going to actually get 2 gifts from people because of the screw up. So look at it as a bonus that way.
Yeah. So that was pretty exciting. And then we move on. We see that BMW is adding 1,000 new jobs. So that's cool.
And hey, did you guys see the video that's been going around the internet of the production of the F-56? They show inside. It's about an 11-minute video. And they show the car, like stamping of the bonnet, and then welding up the 2 pieces of it, and then the paint shop, and it's an awesome video at Oxford.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
I've not seen that yet, no, but that'd be really cool to see.
I started watching.
It is
and
very
I've seen
cool.
like pieces, parts.
Yeah, I'll try and link that up for you guys because it's like 11 minutes and it's worth watching for the whole thing. It's fascinating. And DB, that place has changed a lot since we were there in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's completely brought into the 21st century since we were there even.
Yeah, it still looked pretty old. Like they just finished building MGs on that plant, maybe like a year before when we were there in 2007.
It was pretty high tech at the time. Like everything was barcoded, and they were shooting things with barcodes to make sure the right options went on the cars. Mm-hmm. But now it seems like it's even a little more high tech still yet. And something, if you've been on the tour in Oxford, that we found absolutely amazing is how quiet it is in that factory.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was really amazed by that.
That's because they're using electric tools instead of air tools on everything, which really makes it quiet.
Mm-hmm. Electric tools for the
At least
win.
that's what we were told at the time. Is that right, DB?
Yeah, it was all electric tools. You'd know if it was air tools because they right. There's all that sound of air moving, which is really loud. Chad knows how loud air tools get.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the factory, everything was electric. It was either hydraulic or electric, and you could almost hear a pin drop. I was amazed, and everything was spotless, amazingly clean.
There's a lot of...
Yeah, you could shout from one side of the factory to the other and hear people, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, a lot of factories are going to that way, though. I mean, definitely quieter because they're realizing the human factor, making sure that people can hear what they're supposed to hear and they're not damaging their hearing and stuff like that, because they have all of the ergonomics as far as like lifting and being able to have 2 men to do an operation and all that type of stuff. I mean, the same thing goes for hearing. If you got it too loud in there, you're going to lose a certain amount of hearing when you get older, and that's going to require different type of medical needs.
Well, it
from
puts you
those
on
people.
edge. Being in a noisy environment all day long puts you on edge too. Like, kind of grates on your nerves. By the end of the day, you're like, okay, I just want to be someplace quiet.
Yep.
It's
You
kind of
don't
like
really want to
me
talk
after
with
a day
people.
in
You
Vegas.
just want to be done with it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just like this. I'm gonna go hide now. Leave me alone.
Yep.
Yeah, I have days like that all the time. Just leave me alone.
So anyway, yeah, they're adding 1,000 new jobs. To
Yeah, so
follow
that's
up on
really
that
cool.
Story.
And then there was one other story that we really cared about, and I believe that was the electric coupe.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
not only that, the electric coupe, that's cool because that dropped. We saw pictures of what do I want to say, spy pics of that. The big news, I think, for the week was the John Cooper Works concept will be at Detroit that we'll get to see in a few weeks.
Yeah.
And the
I
pictures
hope
of
it
this
doesn't
car.
look like this.
What don't you like about it?
This looks like a Daihatsu. It looks like a Daihatsu Charade in thunder gray with red stripes.
And it's a stainless brushed finish on that car too. It's not
and its
thunder
mouth
gray.
it's got a giant mouth.
Yeah, it really does. The front end is not terribly attractive. And what the heck did they do with those stripes? Why did they end there?
I don't know. That's a render, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I
these
know
are
these
all
renders
drawings.
are usually fairly accurate, but wow, I hope the front end doesn't look anything like this because I don't. I honestly I think this car looks Japanese. It doesn't look anything like American to me. It looks weird.
Is it just
Especially
me, or is the
front
trend in
three-quarter. I don't
automotive?
know.
I know. In all automotive design, have you noticed all cars are going to these huge grills in the front? This giant mouth look.
Yeah.
It's not just Mini. I think it's a trend in automotive design, and
Yeah.
it's a little disconcerting to me. I just don't like it. I'm not a fan. I don't think.
You know,
it's
when I'm walking
aesthetically
down the street
pleasing.
and I see a mouth breather walking, the other way, I chuckle and kind of think to myself, that guy'd probably suck in less bugs into his mouth if he closed it. And that seems to be what automakers are doing, is they're going to that whole mouth breather look. I don't know if I like it. Pretty sure I don't. I really don't like the way this car
myself,
looks.
and I think in the right color. In a dark color, I think the new Mini looks great. I think it masks a lot of that.
Yeah. But
But
the S doesn't look like this to me. Like this render.
well, the bumper, the aero kit, the JCW aero kit is on there. Is what's different.
Yeah, I need to pull up an image of the S. Because this render looks funky to me. It looks, like I said, like a Daihatsu Charade, painted thunder gray with red racing stripes.
The arches are slightly different on the sides of the car too. The fender arches are slightly different.
Maybe.
It's got the aero kit, different front and rear bumper, different side skirts. Other than that, the car's identical. Well, that red. What about that red bar across the grille? What do you guys think of that?
I like that.
That's okay. And the red accent pieces around like the air ducts and stuff, I think those are cool. But there's just something about the overall shape.
Like
it's the way that the headlights look like they've been smashed into the car forcefully, like somebody just went poof, like there's like stuck on a piece of clay, and they've just really made them, like, stuck them in there a lot, and it just looks, I don't know, there's just something about it. It looks weird. It looks roundy, but like not consistent. Like there's too many round edges going all over the place. It's confusing me. It makes it look Japanese.
Yeah. It's
maybe it's just
when
me.
I'm looking at the roof picture of it, though. Those totally look like white stripes on a silver car, and I'm sure that didn't mean to make it look like that, but that's the way it came out.
Yeah.
Well, there's red accent around the gas cap. You see that? And remember, this is a concept. Now, lest we get really crazy about it, because there's no way Mini's going to come out with this brushed finish on a car. However, they did that. I doubt that's going to be a production item. But I think all the little red accents, I think the stripes, the wheels, maybe not. They look like a cross between the JCW Countryman wheel and the new GP wheel.
Yeah, they look like the new GP wheel, totally.
Yeah, 5-spoke version of that. But yeah, man, that front bumper is a little crusty for me. Just a little.
They got those little wing tips on the wings.
Yeah. You see it in person.
I do like the carbon fiber surrounds on the exhaust tips, though. Those are very nice.
Yeah, that's
a nice touch.
I need to see it in person. I can't judge it. I can't judge a picture,
just
but I can't judge a drawing.
Well, I tell you, we will see it in person. I'll be at the Detroit North American International Auto Show. I say around the 12th of January.
All right.
So a little less than a month from now. So I think Gabe and I are going to be there to see this car in the flesh for the first time. So you'll see it first. We'll be posting pictures. Keep an eye on our Instagram.
Gabe will overprocess them on Instagram.
I'm not going to. I'm going to take it raw and do what I can to do some good, iPhone pics. But we'll do what we can to bring those to you first, and that will be on Monday, January the. Somebody help me out here.
Detroit International Auto Show.
Looks like January the 13th. Yeah, Monday, January the 13th, when those pictures are going to start dropping from us here on White Roof Radio, a Facebook page, Instagram. Be sure and keep an eye out. That'll be a fun day.
Plus Gabe will put all his over on motoringfile.com.
Yeah. But Gabe wants to process them first and upload them to Flickr and all of that, and it takes him forever, and I'll have them instantly on there. Just shooting a good pic from the iPhone and uploading it from there.
There you go. iPhone takes nice photos.
So.
Keep an eye out for that. And then the mini E-Race Coupe, which I thought was really interesting because I think they're recycled a lot of the mini E parts and put them into coupe form. Did you read that at all about the mini E?
They may. No, and I don't know what the story is as far as that goes. But man, where are they going to put the batteries in this car? Is it going to fill the whole boot?
I don't know, but I thought it looked really cool. I thought it was an interesting concept. I guess.
Well, I don't. I kind of wonder.
It's an electric car, and we're not going to get an electric car. But
well, they did it with the i3 and the i8. So I mean, it's not full on electric, but there's a lot of electric technology in that. It's kind of half electric. And you wonder, well, since they've got those, why are they messing with the Mini anymore? But I guess research and development, right?
R&D, baby. So you got to spend that F1 money on something.
Yeah, the last Mini electric cars went over real well, though. I mean,
yeah, I thought so too. And then they recycle them and use them in the Olympics.
I mean, look at all of the press that they got from that.
Oh yeah, tons.
Everything else. I mean, those cars, while they made absolutely no money on it, made them money. So
I got to drive it. It was an interesting car, that electric Mini.
I've been
to drive.
It was very cool. Electric cars. I mean, it's completely a different car overall. I mean, it is 100% a different car than you're ever used to driving, no matter what that car is. You can get in the exact same car and be like, wow, this is completely different just by making it electric. The biggest of big black Corvettes, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, it's electric.
Yeah.
It's really quiet.
Cool.
We'll see what comes of that, the electric coupe.
I thought, we'll see. But what's really interesting too is because Todd and I and everybody, we've all had the chance to meet some really nice people from Mini USA that have since moved on to BMW. So now my Facebook and Instagram feed is full of pictures of bobsleds.
Yeah, because BMW's sponsoring the.
Exactly. So apparently BMW's building like a top-notch carbon fiber sled for the Olympics. That looks badass.
Better than curling.
And I think for testing purposes and all that, they can put BMW logos on it. Although I haven't looked that closely. But in the Olympics itself, corporate logos I think are banned. I don't think.
Yeah, no corporate logos during the Olympics.
And the funny thing is, I know we're going to get some emails from Zeke again because his parents are on a curling league.
Well, all Canadians are on a curling league. I think that's the law up in Canada. Is if you're Canadian, you have to belong. You have to be a member of a curling club.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And you have to participate in at least one.
Be really good
with
a little broom.
Yes,
a little broom.
And you have to participate in at least one bonspiel a year. At least one.
Special shoes for that.
They have special shoes. They have special broom. Special ice.
They have medicine for that.
It's called whiskey.
How do you cure curling on the next White Roof Radio?
And with that,
gosh.
are we done with the news?
We're done with
So-
the news.
I think we're done with the news.
Yeah, let's remind you finally. And I don't know if you guys tonight, watching tonight, if you haven't done your mini shopping yet, well, you're screwed. But you really should hurry up and click over to outmotoring.com, load up your cart full of just some really cool stuff, and just start handing it out to all of your mini friends. Movies, cool accessories, and other miscellaneous accessories. A lot of stuff over there you can get on the cheap for like less than $20. Great stocking stuffers. There's still like another day.
No, you could get a gift certificate up until like
you
the
probably totally do a gift certificate.
the wee hours of the day before.
Yeah.
I'm sure Aaron is probably working just a little bit of Christmas Eve, just like we all are. Anybody can get a gift certificate from any of us, for the last second, and that way you make sure that the size is always right.
I love it. Nicely done. Outmotoring.com. Use coupon code of SHARE. For the rest of December, you're going to save 5% on your order from outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and whatever else is on the homepage right now. That's outmotoring.com. Go check them out, please.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt, outmotoring.com is the Mini Cooper parts and accessories superstore. Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like they've got books on the homepage right now. Yeah, see, there's like all kinds of gift ideas. You guys got to go check this stuff out. It's rad, super rad.
If you like to read.
Well, yeah, everybody who likes to read. Everybody likes to read.
This is
All
the
right.
interwebs.
It is the interwebs. Moving on. We've done all the sponsor stuff already. I guess we're done. And we've done news.
That's good. We got an Ask Chat question.
We did. We got an Ask Chat question from
in
the live
chat.
chat
Cool.
from Brian Hinkle. He writes in he's got a 2010 R56 Cooper with manual transmission, 93,000 miles. Had an alignment a couple weeks ago. And then he noticed it started pulling to the left. Nothing dramatic, but it was noticeable. That's for a reason, Brian. It makes you faster at NASCAR. Pulls to the left. He took it back to the shop, and they didn't charge him. They just didn't quite get it right. He took it back to the dealer, and it was out of alignment. They didn't charge him to fix it, and everything's good now. But he's curious what might have caused the alignment to kind of just go a little bit off and make him start, grooving to the left.
Well, this could have been a lot of different things. The thing that probably it was when you basically have a tie rod and you've got a nut on it, and there's a flat on the other end, and you're trying to pull a wrench around that, and when you're trying to just turn something around a particular point, if you pull just a little bit one way or the other with that wrench, it can actually slide everything one way or the other. And even though the steering wheel is locked into position, it's going to be off ever so slight. So you have to be very careful, especially on a car that has a little bit of a frozen tie rod that has gotten a little bit, you need to throw a little heat to it or something like that.
Yeah.
Once you've heated it up and you have some penetrating lube in there and you're actually pulling the wrench down, things start moving, and you could, pull the wrench a little bit sideways, so that's going to pull it off ever just so slightly. And then once it starts cooling, that heat is going to shift the adjustment ever so slight. So when we get done actually heating a tie rod, we like to make sure it's like, okay, is it cool? We blow it down with compressed air. Can we touch it with just our hands without feeling? Right, without feeling it.
He said penetrating lube.
Yes. We lube it up and make sure it's nice and.
Or something.
Especially when Z comes to town.
Ooh, hey now.
So, more than likely his.
We've gone
alignment
blue
off.
tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We'll lose our liquor license.
Yeah, right. So more than likely his alignment was off ever so slightly because of those type of factors. Whether it was a little bit of heat was used, or somebody didn't quite set something just perfect, or because when you're under there, you could be pulling on that wrench with all your might, and that tie rod is just not moving at all. Not going to do it. So
there you go.
And is it just me, Chad, or is it rare for minis to really go out of alignment? I mean, you got to hit them pretty good because they're pretty sturdy cars, aren't they? I think in all of the minis I've had, and I keep an eye on my tire wear and as many miles as I've put on. I don't think I've ever had to get an alignment on any of them.
I've only done it once.
And that's where you're wrong. It is a sturdy car, but that doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't need alignment. Even though people are like, well, it drives straight and the tire wear is fine and stuff, that doesn't mean that it's not out of alignment. My average rule for most people is once a year. And that's every year.
Right.
And definitely any single time you buy new tires. Even if you don't do once a year and you're getting a new set of tires every 2.5 years or something like that, every time you're getting those new set of tires, you've got a new spot to make sure that you've got a 0 point. Put those tires on, get the car aligned. And this goes back to our friend who's having the alignment issues. Pop the hood. Look at the top of your strut towers. Did they pull the little pin for your struts? Most of the new cars now are plastic. Some of the early cars were a little metal pin, but you'll see those 3 bolts on the top of the strut tower, and there's just a little tiny pin, and it basically, sometimes they just push in, other times they kind of screw out. But if those pins are still in, they didn't do your alignment.
Oh.
Because all of the new cars, anything after any of the R56, 55s, any of the new cars have that pin in there, and that adjusts your front camber. You should always make that front camber the same side to side. And I guarantee you that there's no car out on the road ever anywhere that the camber is the same side to side. You could put it on the rack.
Yeah.
Any single car, brand new, off the factory line, it's wrong.
Interesting.
So, and Chad, do you do alignments there at Detroit Tune?
We do, and that's one of the things we actually specialize in. So we've done a lot of work with the alignments, and we figured out the good specs and figured out what to do and how to do it real well. And we've got a really nice, clean alignment rack that works real well. So
you do it with ballast in the car?
We do. We put estimated weights most of the time within the driver's seat. But if the customer's there, we'll have them sit in the car. We try to always make sure the gas tank is full. And, but a lot of times the customer's not there, and a lot of times we'll like, well, what did he weigh? I was like, well, he's probably around that 210, 212, range. So let's put at least 200 pounds in there, or we'll get certain kids in. It's like, okay, that kid doesn't weigh more than 150 pounds. So, we've got a bunch of old rotors that we've welded together and painted up so that they're not all rusty and gross. We put a sheet down and we pop a bunch of rotors into your seat. So we.
How come you just don't have
awesome.
why don't you have like a test dummy like a Buster from MythBusters?
Because you know how much one of those costs.
Yeah, they're like 10, they're like 10 grand.
If
you want to make sure it's right, I guess.
Well, and you'd also have to have like 10 different dummies there.
Yeah, exactly. Now my dealer uses these giant big, things of liquid that they'll set in there, and they'll balance the car a little bit. So.
And that's, I'll tell you, anybody getting an alignment, that's really rare for a dealer to actually do that. And it's really rare that anybody puts ballast in. The only time you're going to find somebody that does ballast is somebody that is doing the specialty work. Those race car shops, people
who knows what they're doing.
Yeah, corner balancing and stuff like that. And even when I bought my alignment rack and my guy was, selling it to me and setting the whole thing up, and I was like, well, we can't do the alignment. We need to put weight in the driver's seat. And he looked at me. He's like, you put weight in the driver's seat? Because nobody ever does. I'm like, well, yeah, we do.
Wow.
And he goes, you're supposed to, but he goes, I don't know a single shop that does. And he was really impressed because we put the weight in the driver's seat. And like I said, we try to, whenever we can, we put the customer in the driver's seat.
Back in 2004 when I had my first Mini, I had a flat tire that had to have replaced, and I went to like NTB or something like that because it was the only place at the time that could get me the size I needed. Right. And they said, no, we can't do an alignment because you have to put ballast in there, and we don't have that, so you have to take it somewhere else. They wouldn't even do the alignment on the car because they said, it's got to be done with ballast in the car, and we don't have that, so we're not even going to attempt.
That's cool.
Which I respected that a lot.
Yeah,
I respected that a lot.
I had to one time. I had to take an alignment somewhere else. I mean, long time ago, when a shop that I was using all the time, which allowed me to sit in the car and stuff, and do my alignments. This shop would not allow me in the shop because they're like, well, it's against our policy. It's all this, blah blah. I was like, well, come on, really, guys. I understand your policy. I own the exact same policy for my shop, but.
Right.
Let's do this. I'm like, do you have ballast for and they're like, no, we don't. And I was like, well, how are we going to make this work? He's like, well, I guess you can't get it done. I was like, well, my customer still needs to have his car aligned. So we ended up having to not do it with that, and I've since then fixed that guy's car. But it was one of those things that's like, wow, you are a national chain, a huge, entity, and you are still going to do it anyways without the belt. I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
They have tests for that when you,
Well, that's
when you go
something to
through
ask.
school.
Yeah. If you're taking your car in for something, and especially if it's alignment related, if you got uneven tire wear or anything, you've had things replaced, be sure and ask them wherever you are you aligning this car with weight in it, with ballast, if you will, is what we're calling it. That's the correct way to do it.
And along that lines too, I mean, they need to check the tire pressure, make sure the tires are all the same, because if you have one tire that's at 29 and all the rest are somewhere 36 or whatever, I mean, that'll throw your alignment off. So
it's gonna pull. It's gonna pull.
All of that stuff can be very, very sensitive. So there's a whole checklist of things that we do ahead of time as we're setting the car up, making sure it's ready for alignment. We check the air pressure. We make sure it's got a full tank of gas. We ask you your body weight, things that are important to the alignment to make sure that, things are going on. Because if you put a 150-pound guy in a car and align it to that, and then you get a 200 or 300-pound guy into that same car, it's going to handle different. So
there you go. Nice. Thanks for the question. Appreciate it.
But take a look at those top of the strut tower mounts, and I bet you anybody who owns an R56 style car, if they don't have those pins pulled and they've had an alignment, there's the telltale sign that somebody didn't do it right.
There you go. Of course, we love it when Chad answers your guys' questions, and I know you guys like it too. And if you do, click over to DetroitTune.com. Buy yourself something nice, easy,
please.
Kick. Nice and simple. I had some housekeeping I wanted to get taken care of. We're on Go Motoring Watch week 2, and it's still not available. Just want to let you guys know. Go Motoring still waiting for December 12th.
Oh, that's good. That's pure comedy gold right there.
Moving on. We got an update from the Anviv crew, who are taking a sabbatical on Anviv for 2014 because there's so much other stuff happening in 2014. They're going to take the year off. They've done 10. They're going to basically just take a break, kind of regroup, and they're going to bring back Anviv 11 in 2015, and I expect it to be pretty off the chain. Details about that are easiest spot would be either at the Sin City Mini Club Facebook page or the Wire Roof Radio Facebook page.
Okay. Yeah, that was nice to see.
And I got to say, I completely respect that. I completely respect the decision to do that. It's time to hit the reset button. Do a battery pull on Anviv.
Do a battery pull on
Anviv.
Nice.
But I also think that
they're going to turn it into a 2-year event, biannual, opposite of Mini Takes the States. Another reason to do it.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Although there are some people who I saw this here are still going to show up in Vegas this year, and they're going to call it Anviv 10.5 going rogue.
You
can thank Paulson for that one, yeah. He's going to make sure it's.
That's totally cool if they do that. I mean, that just shows the spirit, the ingenuity,
grassroots right there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's totally cool. But I can sympathize with the people that are the hosts of Anviv and the organizers. It takes a lot of work to do an event like that, and when you're doing it every year, you basically are over, and you're like, "Woohoo! That was a great year. I'm going to take next week off," and then you start for next year again, and it's a lot of work, and that's why they only do Mini United every other year and Mini Takes the States every other year, because it's a lot of work and it's a full-time job. So
it really is.
Well, and hey, you know what, Anviv? Take the year off, hit the gym, get good and ripped for Anviv 11 next year.
Do a battery pull?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get our calendars
Well,
out.
by end of 11, everybody will have all new cars. You won't know who anybody is. It's going to be a totally different experience.
Exactly. But if you want, I've actually they assembled a very nice list of other events happening in 2014 for us, and I'd like to read those off to you quickly, if I may. Coming up February 22nd of 2014, of course, is White Roof Radio Woofcast number 500, live from Phoenix, Arizona. We hope to see all of you guys coming down to join us. It should be a lot of fun. Coming up after that is another event in Phoenix happening March 28th to the 30th called Southwest Mini Fest. And then Mini Takes the States, July 26th through August 10th. Minis on the Dragon, April 30th through May 4th. Minis in the Mountains, no date yet, but that will probably happen, if I had to guess, right in the middle of Mini Takes the States, because that's how they plan it. And then Mickey and Minnie will happen later in the year, as well as Mini in the Ozarks, which is October of 2014. Very cool. Lots of good mini events to go to next year.
And we haven't heard a thing about Mini United yet.
We haven't. And normally, by now,
I've been asked that question a lot.
we would have.
Yeah,
Yeah, but didn't they say that was the last one that was ever going to happen, though?
I think that was
No,
us
I
saying.
said. That was Yeah, I predicted that.
Because the last one was really low turnout. So, and we talked about this, but
That's rumor and hearsay right now.
Didn't we discuss it? I think the best way to do Mini United would just be every year at Silverstone or every other year at Silverstone. Just boom, just do it there. Done. Don't move it all over the place. Just pick a spot, Silverstone or Zandvoort. Zandvoort was brilliant.
Alternate between Silverstone and Donington Park, just spread the love around England.
Exactly, and just go. Done. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it.
Which I watched Top Gear last night. A rerun was on, and they were at Donington Park, and they were driving the new Range Rover autobiography, and they did it at the track there, and they let the Stig set the track time in the new GP.
That was a great episode.
And he did it, and then they turned that freaking Range Rover that weighs 9,000 pounds. I'm being hyperbole here. That Range Rover that literally does weigh like 5,500 or 6,000 pounds beat the GP by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, on the track at Donington. It was amazing. That was a great episode. That was the final episode from last season, wasn't it? And they dig all the different cars that are made in England, that piece at the end.
That was awesome. Brought a tear to your eye, man.
It really did. It was brilliant. It was super, because, Jezza and Captain Slow and Hamster, they have a tendency to just be rubbish. They'll do something and it'll catch on fire and they'll all be killed or something ridiculous. But this time they did something and it was brilliant and it was awesome.
Right.
It's worth checking out. It was the last episode of Top Gear from the last season. New season's next month. Super excited for that.
I'm excited for that.
That and Sherlock, that's for the Shuttlecast, but I'm really excited for Sherlock.
I've been without cable television for the last 6-8 months now because we're paying off bills and doing other things. So I downloaded all these episodes of Top Gear onto my computer from Motoring Alliance. So I've been going from about episode 14.6 through 20. Whatever.
Yes.
And I've watched every single one more than once.
Yes.
The last several months, so I could pretty much tell you any single episode of Top Gear verbatim.
Yeah, when I'm just needing, some people, like my dad, for example, at the end of his day, just to wind down the end of his day, he'll put on he keeps recorded episodes of Cash Cab on his DVR. Other people have other shows. That's what Dad does. He's kooky like that.
Hey, Cash Cab's a good show. I mean,
Cash Cab is a great show. Come on. But I'll go and I'll watch old episodes of Top Gear because I've got almost all of the seasons on my little home media server thing. Yeah. And I'll just go, let's go season 14. Oh, yeah, let's go watch that race, that BMW for 24 hours. Done. Yep. That's what I'll do. Good times. I like Top Gear. It's a great show.
Great show.
It's a great show. It really is. I don't have anything else. We've got a lot of stuff planned for 2014. 2013 was just kind of a nice, relaxing year as far as Mini Cooper stuff is concerned.
We hope everybody had a good year.
Yeah. Sure.
They also have their cars, and they're exactly what they want them to be. And
exactly. Yeah. But next year, we got the new Mini coming out. Pretty exciting stuff.
Yep.
Oh no, I'm excited. I like
the,
the
A lot happened in 2000.
I'm really excited about the
the
Cooper.
500th
Yeah.
show is going to come up in 14. So that
That's right. 500th
huge.
episodes coming up in 2014.
Detroit
Huge,
Tunes
huge deal.
10-year anniversary.
Shut
drops, January 1st of 2014.
Is it really?
10 years, yeah.
Wow,
Congratulations,
I'm gonna be in
Chad. I had no
Detroit just
idea.
after that, Chad.
Yep. So I'm trying to think of some awesome sale or some kind of woo, So
Dude, that's rad. I had
if you
no
got any
idea.
ideas out there, somebody should send us an email at info@DetroitTuned or Chad
That
at
is
White Roof Radio or
Awesome.
any of the 9,000 other emails that we got that you know how to get hold of me. So.
Nice. Or post it on the Detroit
That-
Tuned
It
Facebook
is
page.
very
Yep.
That's very cool, dude. Nicely done. Congratulations.
We've made it.
10
Right?
years. Yeah. We're 10 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is.
Wow,
Used
man!
to-
I hit my 20-year anniversary this past March. I've been in business 20 years, so it'll be 21 in 2014.
Nicely done, dude.
Cool.
I've been in business longer than most of my customers have been alive.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Heck,
That's
White
the
Roof Radio.
crazy thing, man. That is the.
Well, cool.
Yeah. And next time you hear us is going to be virtually, although we'll probably do one show before I hit Detroit for the North American International Auto Show. But that's going to be very soon here
We
in
haven't looked at
January.
our calendar for the end of the year yet. Oh, sorry, dude. Okay, you can't hear me.
Yeah, that's okay. We're going to go on a 10-day bender here as soon as we're done with the show. So.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we probably won't reconvene until the 2nd-ish. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens. Yeah, we'll have to talk offline about that. But we are. This is it for 2013, though. We had a great year. We did a lot of shows this year. Had a lot of great time with the Google Hangouts. Had a lot of you guys join us, which was really cool. We're super excited for 2014. I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited for 2014.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I am.
It's coming up. We can't stop it.
Yeah, I can. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep through the whole thing.
And then
Rip
me and
Van
Todd are going to get
Burnside.
emails and phone calls and texts be like, where's DB? And it's like, he's sleeping. I'm sorry.
He's sleeping. So he's doing. Yeah. Okay,
Sleep
so I
it off.
mentioned Woofcast 500 February next year. I've also mentioned Mini Takes Estates 2014. You know, White Roof Radio is your official home of anything Mini Takes Estates related, and there's a full route map and details that we know so far, which is basically the dates, over at White Roof Radio. So if you ever need to know what's going on for MTTS, just click over to whiteroofradio.com, do a quick search for MTTS, and you will find all of the MTTS information you can want. In fact, I think if you search MTTS on Google, White Roof Radio is the second or third choice. We own.
Very nice.
Mini Takes
Good
Estates.
SEO there, my man. Good SEO.
That's what we do, man. That's what we do. But we are done. I think we're done. Does anybody have anything else to add?
No, sir.
Okay, I did a battery pull on the White Roof Radio server, so everything's back up and running without a doubt.
Cool.
Yeah, this episode brought to you by Without a Doubt. That's
Brought to you.
catchphrase courtesy of our good friend Jim McDonald, who is complete. He is done. They have dismissed him. He has been relieved from his duties at Mini USA. Congratulations,
on a
Mr. Jim.
beach.
Enjoy your retirement.
Sitting in a chair with his foot in the sand.
That's what I'd be doing.
Mai Tai.
That's right. His phone's ringing. He'll be like, "Bitch, please," and just toss it away. No time for you.
I was thinking more of drinking a Mai Tai going, my stapler. They said I can have my stapler.
I asked for this with an umbrella.
No, that's not Jim. That's not Jim.
No, that's not Jim, but that's a great movie.
Yeah. I can see Jim sitting on a beach, though, with a drink with like an umbrella or some kind of crazy little garnish on it. A big hat, big floppy hat. Maybe some zinc oxide on the nose.
Nah, he won't be in a big hat. His wife will be in a big floppy hat, though. There should be
Jim will be rocking the
And
big
some
floppy.
stranger's gonna walk. Some stranger's gonna walk up to him, do the funky handshake, and ask for one of those little pins. You know.
He'll be in some random spot somewhere a year from now, and some mini owner will totally accost him, for lack of a better word, and he'll be like, "Yeah, how you doing?"
How come this person's pretending to pee on
I
my
bet
leg
he'll have,
like
I
a
bet he'll have a
dog?
pocket full of them. Yeah.
He'll be getting shot in the back of the head with a squirt gun.
The squirt gun.
Right?
That's it.
Oh my
Good times. Good times. Yeah, Mr. Jim will be missed. For sure. Anyway,
All right. Call us a show.
Gang, we're done for the night. This is the part of the show where I like to make the funny clicking sound, and then I say, questions, comments, or concerns. You know what to do, right? Click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes. You can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. But until next year, gang, this is DB. I'm done.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hope everybody has a good New Year's.
Trash. Okay.
Reboot the system?
Yeah, I'm going to reboot the White Roof Radio server. There we go.
Why not?
No, because I
Works
can't.
for Windows. Works for cell phones. Just kidding. JK. LOL. OMG.
Do a battery pull.
Hug it out.
There you go.
Exactly, right?
We'll do a battery pull on the White Roof Radio server.
Just email and be like, dude, this is running too slow. Battery pull.
Battery pull on the server.
Dude, that would be the best email ever. That would get passed around the office and people would laugh forever.
They really would.
Hey, dude, battery pull. Merry Christmas.
Battery pull on the bacon server, please.
That'd be great.
See ya. Thanks for
There
joining.
you go.
Somebody near a lighthouse?
No, my vibrator thing went off.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Is it really? I thought this was a family-safe show, Chad. Rules for the drinking game.
Tonight.
I like Bill. Bill's on our team.
Happens.
Anytime Todd says fantastic. Although he's been really good lately. Or anytime I laugh, I guess.
Yeah, I
GP.
I try and catch myself. It was like the time I interviewed Jim McDowell, and he said, without a doubt. Like, that man said, in a 15-minute interview, he said, without a doubt.
I was with you on that one. I had to turn my microphone off because I was chuckling. I was laughing so hard because he just kept saying, without a doubt.
DB said Cox.
You ready? You want to make the best laugh at anywhere? Get all the girls in your office to say that they have Cox at home for internet service. That will get everybody in the office laughing. Cox at home. I have Cox at home.
Or take a girl for burgers to Five Guys, and that way she can say, "Hey, I had 5 guys today."
Nice. Yeah, you could do that too. So I'm going to go and turn this sucker off. Gang, thanks for joining us this year. We do appreciate it. As always, we appreciate all your hard work and even trying to bother to listen to the show. We realize it's a big commitment, an hour a week, and we really appreciate that you spend that hour with us. Thank you very much. But until next week, next year, gang. Cheers.
Later.
Yeah. Have a good holiday.